Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something really important if you're learning English in 2025. Creating daily routines that actually work. Let's be honest, there are like a zillion resources out there now, right? And it can feel like, well, information overload.
Totally. It's easy to get lost.
So our goal today is to kind of cut through all that noise and give you a clear step-by-step approach, building consistent English habits into your daily life.
That's right. We've looked really closely at how people learn languages, how habits actually form, to bring you the most effective strategies we could find.
Good.
Think of this as maybe your personal blueprint for making English learning feel natural, like a part of your day, not just another chore on the list.
I like that. A blueprint. And we're going to look at your day in 3 key chunks: mornings, middays, and evenings. The big idea here, and we'll probably keep coming back to this, is that even small, regular efforts are just way more effective than those, intense study sessions you can never quite stick to.
It's exactly consistency over intensity every time.
Okay, let's dive in then, starting with mornings. How can we make mornings, a powerful time for English?
Right. Mornings are a fantastic opportunity. Your mind is often, generally more receptive early in the day. And interestingly, even simple sort of low-pressure activities can really kickstart your English learning.
Okay, simple and low pressure. I like the sound of that.
Yeah?
So one of the easiest ways, I guess, is listening, right? Like short podcasts or audio lessons while you're just getting ready.
Exactly. Think about it. Making coffee, getting dressed. You can be absorbing English passively.
And the great thing in 2025 is how personalized this stuff is now. You can find things that are like right at your level about topics you actually find interesting.
Absolutely. And building on that listening idea, maybe consider just 5 to 10 minutes reviewing vocabulary.
Okay. How?
Well, you could use flashcards, physical ones, or digital ones like Anki. The ones that use spaced repetition.
Oh yeah, Anki's great for that.
Or even just flipping through a notebook where you jot down words. That quick morning review really helps new words settle in. It taps into that spacing effect principle.
Right, reviewing over time so you don't forget immediately. Gotcha.
Precisely.
Here's something I think could make a real difference journaling in English.
Ooh, interesting. Tell me more.
Well, it doesn't need to be like writing a novel. Just a few sentences, maybe about your plans for the day or how you're feeling, even your English goals.
I see. So it's active practice.
Exactly. It gets you writing and thinking in English, and it's a natural way to actually use those new words you just reviewed.
Yeah, that active engagement is key. You're not just passively receiving, you're producing language. I like that.
And maybe add a bit of positivity, too.
How so?
Like writing down a short English affirmation, something simple like, I am making progress with my English every day, or I'm becoming more fluent.
Oh, that's a nice touch. A little confidence booster.
Yeah, why not? Another quick win could be watching a really short English video, maybe 5 minutes.
Like what kind of video?
Could be a motivational clip, a quick news update, anything really. It's just good exposure to natural speech, different accents,
Good idea. And mornings often have fewer distractions, don't they? So you can actually focus a bit more.
True.
But the key, I think, is not to try and pile on too much at once.
Right. Don't overwhelm yourself on day one.
Exactly. Start with just 1 or 2 things that feel doable. Consistency is the aim here, not cramming everything in right away. Quality over quantity.
Okay, good point. So, quick recap for mornings, maybe some listening, a bit of vocab review, perhaps journaling or affirmations, a short video.
Any 1 or 2 of those?
And even just say 15 to 20 minutes dedicated to that can really set a positive tone for the day's learning.
Absolutely. Makes a real difference.
Okay, so we've started strong. Now, how do we keep that momentum going? What about the middle of the day? That can be tricky.
Yeah, midday is often busy, work, errands, all that. But even short breaks, they can be little pockets of opportunity for English.
Right, you don't need a full hour.
Not at all. And interestingly, you can often integrate practice into things you're already doing.
Okay, like what? How do we squeeze it in?
Well, think about those little breaks you might get, like your lunch break. Even just 10 or 15 minutes with a language learning app. Duolingo, Memrise, Babbel, there are loads now.
Yeah, the apps. They're designed for that quick hit, aren't they?
Exactly. They're engaging, easy to dip in and out of, perfect for those small windows of time.
Makes sense. And what about more passive stuff?
Definitely. Listening again, English podcasts or audiobooks while you eat lunch, or if you commute. Great way to immerse yourself without needing intense focus. You're still training your ear, picking things up.
Passive immersion, yeah. Okay, here's a tip I think is maybe a bit underrated. Talking to yourself in English.
Oh, interesting. Does that actually work?
I think so. It might feel a bit weird at first, but just like narrating what you're doing or thinking out loud in English. Okay, now I'm going to make some tea. Stuff like that.
I can see how that would help you practice forming sentences on the fly.
Exactly, gets you comfortable. And if you're brave, maybe record yourself. Listen back for mistakes or awkward phrasing. It's good practice for active recall, trying to pull the language out of your brain.
That's actually a brilliant suggestion. It removes the pressure of speaking to someone else, lets you just experiment.
Yeah.
And building on that speaking practice, there's shadowing. We mentioned that briefly before.
Right, repeating after audio or video clips?
Yeah, you just repeat short chunks. You can do it almost anywhere, quietly, and it's fantastic for pronunciation and getting to the rhythm of the language, the fluency,
And it's portable, you just need your phone and headphones.
pretty much.
Okay, what about reading? Can we fit that in midday?
Sure. If you like reading, keep some English material handy, a book, an article saved on your phone, a blog post.
So if you get an unexpected 10-minute break.
Exactly. You can pull it out and do some focus reading. Great exposure to new words and how sentences are built.
Good one. And we should probably mention tech here too, shouldn't we? Especially in 2025.
Oh, definitely. AI chatbots, for instance. They're amazing now. You can have a quick conversation practice right on your phone during a coffee break.
And they give feedback, right?
Yeah, often immediate feedback on grammar, phrasing suggestions. Super useful. And lots of platforms have interactive quizzes too, another quick way to test yourself.
So midday seems to be all about flexibility, finding those little moments.
That's the key. Adapt it to your schedule. And again, even a few minutes here and there done consistently, it really adds up over the weeks and months.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've covered mornings, middays. Let's move into the evening. How can we wind down, but still maybe reinforce the English we've learned?
Evenings offer a different kind of opportunity, I think. It's more about reflection, maybe solidifying things. And interestingly, you can do this gently without needing intense study right before bed, which isn't always great for sleep anyway.
Right, no heavy lifting before sleep. So what's a good starting point for an evening routine?
Well, one of the best things is just a quick review of what you encountered during the day. Spend maybe 5-10 minutes max.
Reviewing what exactly?
Any new vocabulary you noted down, interesting
Yeah.
phrases, maybe a grammar point you looked up. Just glance over your notes or your flashcards again. It really helps push that stuff into your long-term memory.
Simple but effective, just a quick look back.
Exactly. And if writing feels like too much effort at the end of the day,
Which it sometimes does.
yeah, try using voice notes instead. Record yourself quickly summarizing your day in English.
Oh, like spoken journaling.
Precisely. Gives you speaking practice too, without the pressure of writing it all out.
I like that idea. But if you do feel like writing,
Then evening journaling is great too. Again, just a few sentences. Try to actively use some of the new words or phrases you learned or reviewed earlier. Describe something that happened, how you felt. Makes it practical.
using the language in context. Got it.
Absolutely. And another really nice evening habit, some enjoyable English reading.
Enjoyable being the key word.
Definitely. Aim for maybe 15-20 minutes. A novel you like, a blog you follow, online articles about a hobby. It should be relaxing, but it's still great for your vocabulary and just getting a feel for sentence structure.
Okay, reading for pleasure, but in English. Nice. What about watching stuff?
Evenings are perfect for that. English, TV shows, movies, YouTube.
With subtitles.
Yeah, English subtitles can be really helpful for listening comprehension. Or no subtitles if you're up for the challenge. The main thing is choose content you genuinely enjoy so it doesn't feel like a chore.
Makes sense. So it's learning, but it's also downtime.
Exactly. Now, here's a more proactive tip for the evening. Spend just a couple of minutes planning for the next day's English learning.
Ah, setting an intention.
Kind of. Like decide, tomorrow I want to practice speaking about X, or I'll learn 5 new words related to Y, or I'll listen to that podcast episode. Having a mini plan helps you stay focused when the next day starts.
That's a really smart idea. Takes the guesswork out of it in the morning.
Right. And one last thought for evenings. Really embrace the winding down aspect. Maybe try some relaxation techniques in English.
Like what?
Guided meditations, breathing exercises. There are loads of apps that offer these in English. Helps you relax, but you're still getting that listening input.
Interesting. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Sort of. So the main goal for evenings isn't intense study. It's more reflection, some light practice, maybe reinforcement, and getting prepped for the next day. Gently.
Gently reinforcing and preparing. Got it. Okay, this daily structure makes sense. But let's zoom out a bit. We have to talk about the technology available in 2025. It's changed everything, hasn't it?
Oh, completely. It's transformed language learning. The tools available now are incredible.
So what are some of the key tech tools you think English learners should really know about, or maybe try, in 2025?
Well, top of the list has to be the AI-powered language learning apps. We mentioned Duolingo, Babbel, but there are newer ones popping up all the time.
And what makes them so good now?
It's the personalization. They can create learning plans that adapt specifically to you, your level, how fast you learn. And the speech recognition is getting seriously good.
Giving you feedback on pronunciation.
Yeah, instant feedback,
Yeah.
which is just invaluable for improving your accuracy and sounding more natural. That immediate correction loop helps so much.
It really does. It's amazing how far they've come. Okay, what else? You mentioned AI chatbots earlier.
Yes, they're another huge one. Honestly, the conversations you can have now. They can correct your grammar, suggest better ways to phrase things. It's almost like having a personal tutor available 24/7.
Wow, a patient tutor who's always there.
Exactly. Fantastic for on-demand conversation practice, getting quick help. And then there's virtual reality, VR.
Ah, VR for language learning. How does that work?
There are apps now that create these immersive English-speaking environments. Like you can be in a virtual coffee shop, ordering, or navigating an airport. You practice real conversations in a context.
That sounds incredibly engaging.
It really is. That kind of immersive practice can be a massive confidence booster, making the real world less intimidating.
Okay, VR sounds cool. Maybe not accessible to everyone just yet, but good to know it's out there. What about more common tech? Streaming.
Oh, absolutely. Streaming platforms, Netflix, YouTube, whatever, are gold mines. Watching shows and movies in English.
We mentioned subtitles.
Right. And there are even browser extensions specifically designed for language learning that integrate with these platforms, offering clickable subtitles, saving words, stuff like that. Makes it a really active viewing experience.
Very useful. And for more structured learning.
Online learning platforms are still huge. Coursera, Udemy, even just channels on YouTube. You can find well-structured courses on literally everything taught by native speakers, often for free or very low cost.
So many options for courses and podcasts. We mentioned them for mornings and middays.
Yeah, and the variety now is just staggering. In 2025, you can find podcasts specialized for any level, any interest. Business English, casual conversation, news, storytelling. Perfect for learning on the go.
Okay. What about smart speakers? Like Alexa or Google Assistant?
Good point. They can be learning tools too. You can practice speaking just by asking them questions. Set reminders for vocabulary review. Some even have English quizzes you can play.
Huh, that's clever. Sneaking in practice.
Yep. And don't underestimate social media either.
How so? For learning.
Yeah. Following English content creators on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you get exposed to really casual, everyday language, slang, idioms. Plus, you can join online communities, connect with other learners, maybe find practice partners.
Right, that social connection is important.
Very. It keeps it motivating and real. And one last thing, AI translation apps.
Ah, yes, Google Translate and the like. They're scary accurate now.
Incredibly accurate, great for quickly understanding a tricky text or seeing how a phrase is used. But a word of caution.
Oh!
They're amazing support tools, but don't rely on them instead of learning. Use them to understand, then make the effort to actually learn the word or structure yourself. Don't let them become a crutch.
Good distinction. They help you understand, not replace the effort.
Exactly. Technology is there to make learning more fun, more accessible, more effective. But you still need that consistent effort. The best approach is to experiment, find the tools that click with your style, what you actually enjoy using.
Makes sense. Try things out.
Okay, this is all really practical. But as we start to wrap up, let's tackle something crucial. Staying motivated. How do people stick with these routines?
Ah, yes. The million-dollar question. It's often the biggest hurdle, isn't it?
I think so. One common thing I hear is, I just don't have enough time. What's the advice there?
Yeah, that's a big one. And it often feels very real. My first piece of advice is always start really small.
Like how small?
Even just 10 or 15 minutes a day, seriously. Pick one activity, listening on your commute, 5 minutes of flashcards. It's much better to do that consistently than to aim for an hour, fail, and then feel discouraged and give up.
Quality over quantity again. Exactly. Those small, regular efforts compound. They build the habit. And often, once the habit is there, you find you naturally start doing a bit more anyway.
Okay, start small, build the habit. What about feeling stuck because you have no one to practice speaking with? That's a common frustration.
Definitely. But you can practice speaking alone effectively. You talked about shadowing. That's great practice.
Repeating after native speakers.
Yep. Recording yourself speaking, then listening back critically. Also really valuable, even if it feels awkward at first. And as we said, those AI chatbots are fantastic now for safe, pressure-free conversation practice. Plus, language exchange apps and websites can connect you with partners online. There are options, even if you're learning solo.
Good point. Options exist. Okay, another frustration. Forgetting things. You learn a word and poof, it's gone a week later.
So common. Forgetting is totally normal. The antidote is regular review.
Like the evening review we talked about.
Exactly. Use your flashcards, revisit your notes, maybe do a quick self-test once a week. That spaced repetition idea, reviewing things just as you're about to forget them, is scientifically proven to help lock things into long-term memory.
So build review into the routine. Don't just learn and move on.
Precisely. Okay, what about feeling overwhelmed by just the sheer number of resources? Apps, websites, books, podcasts. Where do you even start?
Yeah, analysis paralysis.
Right. My advice here is simplify. Don't try to use everything at once. Pick just one or two resources that genuinely appeal to you.
Based on learning style.
Yeah, or interests. Love listening. Focus on a great podcast and maybe an audiobook app. Prefer games. Stick with one or two gamified apps. Get really comfortable with those chosen tools before you even think about adding more. Master one thing first.
Focus. Less is more initially.
Definitely. It avoids that feeling of being scattered and overwhelmed.
Okay, final challenge. Motivation drain. What happens when you just don't feel like you're making progress fast enough? It's easy to get discouraged.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling is real. The key here, I think, is to actively celebrate the small wins.
Like what kind of wins?
Did you understand a sentence in a movie you wouldn't have before? Did you manage to use a new phrase in your journaling or even just thinking to yourself? Did you finish a podcast episode? Acknowledge those moments.
Recognize the small steps.
Yes, they are progress. Also, crucially, reconnect with your why. Why did you start learning English in the first place? Reminding yourself of your core motivation, travel, job, connecting with people, whatever it is, can really reignite the flame when it feels like it's flickering.
Reconnect with the purpose. Good one.
And just remember, language learning isn't usually linear. There will be plateaus. But every single bit of effort counts. Be patient with yourself. Try, if you can, to enjoy the actual process of learning and discovery.
That's excellent advice, patience and enjoying the journey. Okay, so to kind of bring all this together then.
Yeah, I think the main takeaway from our deep dive today has to be that consistency and finding routines you actually find, well, somewhat enjoyable and that fit your life. That's the absolute key to making real progress with English in 2025.
Couldn't agree more. Consistency and personalization. So to everyone listening, our encouragement is really just to start small. Pick one thing, maybe two, one or two ideas we talked about today that genuinely sounded interesting or doable for you, and just try adding them into your daily rhythm. Remember, it's about making progress, not achieving perfection overnight.
Absolutely. And take a moment now and then to actually notice how you're doing. Celebrate those little breakthroughs, understanding something new, using a word correctly, finishing an article. They all matter. Every single step forward counts.
Great point. And maybe on that thought, here's something to consider as we finish. How could even those small, consistent moments of engaging with English throughout your day, just 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, how could they build up over time to make a really significant difference in your fluency, and maybe just as importantly, your confidence?
Think about which of these strategies we've discussed really clicks with your lifestyle, your personality, how you like to learn. We really encourage you to explore those a bit deeper and start crafting that daily routine that works for you.